side, that Wukong that I really highly prioritize right now as far as the jungle pool is going to find the first skirmish.
Cuz kicking things off, Carrier waiting off to the side, TP already used, flash backwards, the concussive blow stacking, Owner 2, they got him! Manages to lock him down, and that's going to be first blood. They're donating it to BDD.
To finals back in 2021. As
Dom going in, Hunter's volley not quite enough. Now Carrier is looking to finish the job himself. Slowly but surely the Poppy whittling him down. Dom forced to flash away, but Carrier hungry for blood. A little bit more time, the Q flash forward. Dom with a bit of a sidestep, extra movement speed, trying to make it through the minions. Dom living for an extra moment, avoiding the angle back into the wall. Carrier gets the knockback, the glitch coming out. 1-for-1 in the bottom lane.
Wukong is there.
Dom on the way down, he won't be there in time. However, Unbreakable Peter looking to mark him up. Concussive blows finally hitting. Auto attack reset more than enough. Yushi falls. The game is crucial for KT's game plan as the ulti doesn't connect from Doran. That's crushing. Very likely would have been a sure thing on the initial kill, and now Perfect wants to go for the all-in. Carry on the way up, but Perfect is completely overheated. Buying a bit more time to overheat now as he turns back into the wave. Damage coming in, and the rest of the team has arrived. Spinning right on top of Doran, and there's a Cyclone. Carrier running for his life. Concussed, taken. They wait to have 3 members strong. They spot Carrier, and they know that is their time to step up. Owner waiting, Gumayushi on the way in. Arrow connecting. No chance to use the Crescent Guard. It might be too late by the time Owner does it. Realm War behind, and it's BDD right on top of Owner, but Faker is there to cover. Instantly, he's sprinting out to safety as Dam starts to rain hell onto Owner, but the Xin is too damn tanky. The objective in the sights of KD. Kuma, not enough time to charge.
Bottom side mid wave is not even going to get pushed all the way in.
Doran,
that's 4 people.
Concussive blows. The Cyclone immediately comes out as well. Doran can't push a single button. Equalizer, Redemption now used. Cooldown up just in time. KT keeps going, but now they want to turn it right back. Instantaneous equalizer. Carrier locked up. Rumble coming in, but denied. Carrier wants to knock Perfect out of the fight, but it might not matter because it's Doran into the back line. Owner stays standing. Cuz take it down. T1 fired back.
No matter the early deficit, T1, they still win the team fight. They still get the dragon, and they're looking for BDD.
On the hunt for BDD, but there's just nowhere for him. No, they have an advantage in the fight if it comes down to the 5v5. Flash forward, ulti into the back, immediately thinks he kicked off, but Peter does his best to heroically disengage. It is not enough to keep Dom standing. Cuz taken out as well. Doran in the 3v1, completely and totally unfazed. Carrier there to stop any further follow-up. Faker taking down Perfect, and BDD is not enough to do.
Low.
Resetting, resistance is shredded by the Otacon. Carrier, ward over the wall, spots out Cuz. T1 know it's a 50-50 now. 5 seconds on Dam, but he doesn't have access to a TP to make it to the fight any faster. Perfect TP available. BDD finds the angle into Doran. Carrier now backing up. 3K on the objective. Getting lower. Steadfast presence gone. Faker on the backside. Cuz wants to try to make it out of this one, but now they're moving at advantage. Take out Kuma. No, Kuma living. Who's like to finish him? Looking for a bit more damage, but T1, they find the double for Carrier. They take the Thornbound Otacon, and Perfect. It is too little. It is too late. Already getting mid-prio. Doran fishing for the flank once again. Ready to come over the wall with the public execution. Carrier going into the wall, locking up Cuz. Instantaneous knockup! A flawless combo to keep it going. Dam finally escapes, but he just finds himself in a 1v1 versus Doran. Hope fading fast for the side of KT as Carrier is still standing. Perfect and BDD running for the hills. T1 grabbing their second Drake, but Owner not done yet. Knocks Peter out as well.
Gen G, that game looked dire as well. TP comes in from Faker. Won't have his ult. Owner goes in.
Catch him out. Unbreakable used to kick off the fight. That's the ulti from Gumayushi. Good response coming in from Perfect, but the damage not really enough. Ulti does not connect from Doran. Knockback from Carrier takes BDD out of the equation. And once again, it's Doran on top of Dam. Concussive blows buy him an additional second. Perfect running. The flick back likely to come through as Faker tries to get the damage down. But now he finds himself in a brief 2v1. Goes golden. Knocked back into the wall. Carrier there right in time as KT are effortlessly dismantled. Denied a bit by Peter, and it's Owner now on the flank looking for Cuz. Not sure if he's found him. Cuz turning right back onto Owner. Owner instantaneously into the back line. The concussive blows there, as is the Perfect execution. Carrier in the thick of it. Gumayushi and Faker on touch coming over the wall, but it's Faker. Full confidence. It's the flash, but unfortunately the flip back goes wide. Doran turns it right back with a sundering blow. KT pulling away. Man advantage for the side of T1 being ushered out. Carrier wants to deny it, but he will only be able to isolate Perfect. The Baron still backing them up. One in, so they're going to turn their sights to the Drake, spawning in 4 seconds. T1 already have secured the Baron on the back of a keeper's verdict.
볼게. 걸었어. 라이트 높여. 라이트 높여.
오케이, 괜찮다.
있어. 야, 뒤. 야, 위에 봐줘라, 위에. 위에 좋아. 5 봐줄게.
오,
높으랴.
오케이.
위에 좋아. 괜찮나? 위에 이겼어, 위에 이겼어.
내가 온 거야.
괜찮네? 하나 끊고 있어.
아 나이스. 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 여기다 이거. 예?
럼블 열심히.
사람 뭐라고? 여기다 누구냐고. 어? 이거.
우리 가자. 잘했어. 이렇게 이기면
나 일단.
예플 있나? 나플 있어? 그러면 해야지.
자.
잡자.
내 킬.
아 왜? 나이스.
나이스. 나이스.
As Doran and Keria show a masterclass in this game on the lane.
At T1, they don't overextend the play because Cuz and Peter were on the way there, and now they're looking at Guma.
KT getting aggressive, just knocking down Gumayushi, taking first blood as
And
Peter.
the team is built around a Sivir Lulu comp here. While there's possibilities elsewhere.
Nice sidestep from BDD, just barely able to get away. Vault Breaker coming in for Cuz, opts not to flash. The turn back from Owner is solid. Faker now on the way in himself, trying to use the Golden Clips to keep things going. The Ezreal ulti across the top. BDD grabbing one. Faker will turn it back, but he's under the tower, and it's Cuz!
There's only 2 big carries, but this early on, the damage is still there as BDD.
BDD potentially caught out, layering into CC a little bit off. BDD unstoppable for a brief moment, ready to use the ulti, but Faker has stolen one away. The Golden Eclipse, but the follow-up is there from Peter. Makes it a 1-for-1. Vault Breaker coming in. Faker just CC'd for an eternity. The Kingslayer healing not available in time. Needs to hijack the ulti of Peter. Chip really starting to hurt onto Doran. Catch over the wall onto Cuz, the most fed member. They're immediately going to delete him, and the rest of KT try to pull the trigger, but they can't quite find the angle. BDD, Doctum, they've got the range advantage. Peter waiting to peel for them if necessary. Perfect. Spots them in the darkness. The Tremor Sense showing him what he needs to see, but they've stopped moving or have moved out of range. He can't be certain now. The Q from Doran moving in. Peter still gets the ulti. It's a golden eclipse from BDD. A new dawn for KT in game 2, but T1 are unconcerned. Guma, Keria standing, the bot lane. Will it be enough? BDD trying to buy her back, but it's Gumayushi fearlessly advancing, ricocheting, tearing through the dreams of KT. Is a team fighting demon. The dragon starting to fall. Turn back from Faker as he catches out Doctom. Cuz there to try and peel, but it is too late. Owner moving in. A cataclysm across the top side. Perfectly canceled. BDD flashing over the wall. Gumayushi still living. Perfect on the chase. Peter wants to fire back. Cuz running for the hills. 2 down on the side of T1. But Guma might be enough. Perfect. Gets the bite. Tears right through him, and now it's Owner picked off as well. KT fighting for their lives. BDD still standing. Crucially, the extra damage. Doran set to fall. Doctom, unaware of the Scion, but knows that he has relative safety. Has to be careful about walking forward towards that brush. And Doran perfectly placed and baited
In the
Doctom.
river, but he is Ezreal.
Doctom, pass over the wall. Peter looking to make a play. Lockdown onto Faker, looking to turn it back. Root is connected as well. Faker's been caught. Buys a brief moment with the Seekers. The rest of T1 retreating. Perfect buying for space, and the tunnel over the wall. It's a heist. He buys the time to take Faker down. Doran with a decimating smash. Peter on the chase. They'll only connect onto one, but it's enough to start the fight in their favor. Gumayushi untouched, but he's also not able to do any damage. Cuz keeping it going. KT pushing into the jungle of T1.
And Perfect is able to escape. Wait a second.
BDD flash. Doran forced to flash back over the wall. Sidestep on the decimating smash. Peter there to cover. Guma can't push for anything else. Doran getting chunked out. That's the ulti to seal it. On the flank. Perfect not going to give him the angle. KT starting to retreat. Starting to get forced backwards. Doran to kick things off. Peter to look for the interrupt. Faker using an ulti of his own to be stolen away. BDD taking out of the fight. But down goes Guma. Cuz making it work, but PD's owned away by Keria. And all of KT now collapsing. They have the power to end the game. Another TP. Doctum on the way. Doran giving everything to clear the waves. Owner and Keria here. Surely the Ezreal is enough, but the creeps are falling back. Doran remains standing. T1 are not out of it yet. Doctum needs more, and he cannot get it.
Guma's up in 10 seconds.
Won't be able to find the blind decimating smash, but the ulti to kick things off. He connects onto the wall. Perfect waiting on the back line. Doctum untouched. BDD untouched. Doran straying way too far forward in a moment of miscommunication. Down goes the top laner of T1. Kate. Doran isolating Cuz. Peter going forward. Finds 3 with the knockup. Perfect there to fall. But Faker turns it right back and knocks down Peter. Doctum. BDD still standing. Baguma! He's shredding through everybody. The Sivir finally allowed to take over the fight. but they manage to take him. Faker's still alive in the scrappy fight. The extra healing is making all the difference. Doctom doesn't quite have the damage that he needs. KT holding on for dear life. Doctom able to find the kill. Perfect, cause Doctom falls. A final hold for T1. It almost turns in their favor.
야, 둘이 떨어져 있어. 이제랑 멜만 떨어져 있어봐. 나랑
사이랑 들어가면 나 그냥 바로 그 뒷비전 사일 나올 때 박을 거야 이거 사일 나올 때
조심해.
아 사일 주고 아깝게 할게
사이 막사이 쪽에서.
사이형 풀고 조심
볼게. 살짝. 오케이. 천천히. 잘봐. 야, 사이. 아야, 천천히. 11로 봐야 돼.
빼면서 아 11로 볼게 11로 볼게
나 죽었어. 11로 봐야 돼. 나이스. 천천히 가야 돼. 천천히 얘들아. 카인이야, 카인. 좋은데. 좋아. 야, 이제 피 없다. 사이 노플. 사이부터 사이 잡아야 돼, 승민아. 와, 다행이다. 야.
sorry.
Doctom falls! A final hold for T1. It almost turns in their favor. But Perfect is going to end the game. Guma dies, and so does T1. KT even up the series. As long as he has his passive up, he's not too worried. Hex Drake down. BD waiting in the darkness. Multi-man. The CC layering is there. Doctom on the way in, but he's only level 4. Owner now running for his life. Forced to flash away. Ulti comes out from Faker. He doesn't have a lot of mana left. The Dark Sphere hitting, slowing Faker down. The chase coming through, but they really don't have what they need. Ulti there, his power unleashed, the weak scattered, and first blood.
Cuz has an inside route and access to the alligator, though.
That's a Mundo with red buff.
Yeah,
Doran,
and Syndra's coming.
Doran,
He's just dead.
You only have one piece of CC.
cornered.
Yeah, that doesn't work on him. He's going where he pleases. Doran, I think this might not have been what you wanted. BDD on the way, hoping to get this donated. Doran, I think.
Well, he's stalling.
Barnott might be in the game, but this is certainly a magical journey for Doran as
Trying for the execute. It's all he can do, but not
You
gonna
know.
happen. Darren Mundo.
That's a
known
hard
to
steal.
be unbothered.
Continuing to do
That's a
decent
lot of
damage.
damage.
Infernal, good damage as well. Lock up there, but Owner going is unstoppable. Peter caught out for a brief moment, immediately going to be forced to ult. That's the unbreakable. The flash, it doesn't connect. The Q doing absolutely nothing means T1 are able to walk away. A bit of a fumble from Peter, but it doesn't cost KT much yet. Gumayushi standing on the backside, ready to transcend if he needs to. Doctom going all in to try to stop him from getting his fight. Owner on the way in, looking for the reset to keep the fights going. BDD going over, wants to kill Owner, but Owner lives for an extra second. The stun to turn it back. Owner taking over BDD, but the stun does not connect, and Peter's now running. Cuz locked down in the meantime. Perfect is finally here, but it might not matter. Reset on the ulti from Owner means he gets to back away, but the health bars are low across all of T1 KT. This is an insane gamble. Objective lower and lower, and Cuz is taking unstoppable for Perfect. Gets a bit more space. Carrier still living. Doctom on the way in, and Guma set the fall. Down goes the 80 carry. Doctom on the way out. The TP in. Fish in a barrel, and it's time for KT to start free firing. T1 thought they had the edge, but in the end, it's KT. Just to get him in range is BDD, then now collapsing on the side lane. Multiple pieces of CC stun. Initial lock up into Owner is decent. BDD trying to turn back. Sidestep does not work. Owner.
Oh, there's the TP. There's the flank.
TP from behind. Flashing forward. Carry's going to find the knock on the Doctor, but Peter beautifully stopping the initial engage. Doran from behind, though, more than enough to knock down that 80 carry. KT running.
Huge TP flank. What? It turns into more.
Peter, flash out, reset from Owner, unstoppable for a moment. Owner setting up for the angle, but he's not going to overcommit.
Getting larger and larger as Carrier not sitting on
Peter,
Smite.
Hex flash, pulverize, knocks Carrier back over the wall, and here comes Doctom. Down goes Carrier. Doran very likely to just have to concede this tower. So KT get the Drake, they get a kill. The Redemption now used as well, and it's on Doran to instantly delete this wave. It's working out well so far, but can he keep his life? TP's coming in from the side of T1, but it's just Faker and Guma off to the side. K on the Drake, getting lower. Eyes on Peter, the Alistair to make the play as Faker tries to zone away. KT, it's Peter in the clutch. Scatter to fall, but the fall damage is not there. Exhausted is Faker, and Carrier tries to turn it back, but he's all by his lonesome. Doran cannot get into the back line. KT managed to find the initial kill. It's perfect shot to pop off. Guma missing completely. They get the Drake, but it might cost T1 everything.
Available for T1.
They have to be careful of moving into the choke, and they know it. Owner trying to approach from another side. The potential for BDD to line up a multi-man scatter for it to end the fight in a blink of an eye is massive, but once again, it's the flank that they're looking for. But it's Doran caught out! BDD unleashing his power. Cuz using the maximum dosage as KG start to push into Gumayushi. He's outless, he's helpless, there's nothing he can do. Mundo pushing further and further into T1's back line.
KT are doing it!
Potential 50-50. The Mundo damage.
Owner.
The auto carrier trying to zone. Peter on the way and wants to knock them out of the fight. The objective getting lower and lower, but off T1! Deleted! In the blink of an eye, KT!
They found the comeback as the TP comes in.
Keeping from behind, they want to catch out Perfect. Perfect can try and use Dorn as an escape route. Carrier has to be careful, but Pathmaker already used means that Perfect is in trouble. Q3 back through, using Carrier now to escape. Perfect on his way out. It's not the wreck side, but once again, it feels like he's going to escape. All of KT looking to collapse. Eyes on Faker and Dorn as Perfect flashes out to safety. That's the ulti used by Guma. KT pulling back, keeping Perfect alive. Dorn wants to make the difference. Cuz goes in! T1 making it happen. Guma fails the flash. It stops the fight from going through. Doran getting whittled down. And in the end, it's Cuz again who refuses to drop. Peter with the CC. I cannot believe it. KT holding on as T1 in the end might finally get to the moon. No!
Who comes out ahead? The scrap Faker trying to chase down the extra kill, but so is Cuz.
T1, the pressure point is on them. KT have baited them into the trap. Peter from the darkness, finding Doran, but not the ideal carry as Guma and Faker are still untouched for now. Gravity field to lock them up. Maximum dosage. Cuz getting lower, but still living. The Mundo refusing to die, and Guma Yuchi drops. KT taking it across the finish line. Faker forced back. The bot lane open. The TP there for BDD.
오케이 레넥 굿. 아 이거 한번 보자. 와이프부터 보자.
빼면서 얘들아. 빼면서. 야 나쁘지 않아. 나 죽어.
너. 야 비에고.
됐어. 야 밑으로 볼게.
노플이야. 야 노플이야. 아 바텀에 텔 타자. 노플. 잡고. 나 2초.
형 불피야.
노플이야. 잡고 바텀 텔. 나이스.
캐리. 한번 잘해봅시다.
캐리. 확실한 캐리긴 하네.
캐리야. 나 문시야. 같은 문도야. 지렸다.
맞는 말이긴 하지.
든든하네. 네, 잘해보자.
릴렉스 할게요.
내가 시키는 대로만 해줘야.
알았어.
오늘도 게임 잘 보인다.
오케이.
KT about to go up match point in the Telecom war in the world.
Done. Making his way over, even getting a summoner or getting the egg would be big.
Faker grounded, Cuz on the way in. Good wall to force the disengage, but BDD full committing even though he has no mana. They do manage to get the passive out of Faker. Cuz full committing. Peter on the way. The tongue lash there. They want to give the kill to BDD, but it'll go to Cuz in the
The
end.
middle or bust.
Cuz ready for the 50-50. Faker off to the side. Decent damage onto BDD. Owner going all in. Flashback coming out from Cuz. Wall there as well as BDD just barely able to skirt around the edge. But the objective set up now for the side of T1. Double TPs. KT want to claim it for a bit more. Ulti coming out from the side of Carrier. Drake down. The backline of KT berserk as they look if they can turn it back. But again, they don't have the tools to keep the fight going unless Peter wants to flash tongue lash. But that's all their CC. Perfect fighting off to the side, dragging Faker into the death realm. In the meantime, BDD starting to walk forward. Doran potentially caught out. The 4-man! BDD showing he can be clutch in the moments that count. Turning it again. KT were losing the fight as they lost the objective. Gumayushi will not be able to make the bailout work. The Drake to T1. The fight to KT.
Oh, Doran's gonna want that one back. The big whiff on the Gragas engage there.
Peter, knock up a bit too far. The thick skin, yeah, it's not gonna save you. Caught up in the hype, caught up in the moment. 5v5 at the pit. Flash ulti available for BDD if he wants to try and find it. Perfect isolated off to the side. Hostile takeover stops Peter from going any further. Dockdam completely isolated. Cooking the barrel for just a little bit longer, and now the Drake is going to go down. Owner taking it. Dockdam isolated. And Perfect trying to force a fight with Faker, but he gets nothing as the wall comes in to interrupt. Flash over the wall. The ulti from BDD. He might get a couple more kills, but again, the objective belongs to KT. Even as T1 begin to fall, Faker and Carry are ready to turn it. But have they overcommitted the wall there, trying to disengage Carrier? Faker running into the pinch, Obliterate connecting for full damage. Cuz on the chase, waiting a few seconds for the pillar, but the stun. And if T1 take the fight, it might just cost them the game.
Perfect has
sticking around, ready to get them away. The ulti not stacked up. Perfect going forward just a little bit longer. The death realm to come out. Owner going to respond with an ulti of his own, turning off the lights on this team fight between both lineups. Gumayushi and Perfect in the death realm, and Guma takes those. T1 focusing on the objective. Cleanse used from Carrier. Heal on the way. Faker finding a bit more damage. BDD isolated. Hostile takeover going to connect onto BDD. It won't have much effect as Cuz tries to chase Faker out. But Docdam, he might take Carrier. But it's T1 taking the Otacon. Guma. A bit tough to deal with. You can see the pierce that lands onto Docdam, taking that chunk of health. Flash in. Full committal to the fight. Pillar to isolate Owner. Redemption to heal Faker right back up. That's almost every single cooldown burn. It's on BDD to try to turn it back, but it's a split fight. T1 coming from multiple sides. Collapsing as Owner moves in on top of Perfect. Dorn has been isolated in the death realm, but he'll manage to make it over. Flashback! Absolutely jukes him! And now it's Perfect caught in a 1v1 with Faker right as he comes out. He is stunned, but he won't be taken down. All of T1 in the pit. The spears stacked. Smites available.
Faker's gonna teleport back. They're recalling Mordekaiser and the Anivia.
The fight just continues to go. 6K getting lower. Doctum trying to get a bit of poke. Hostile takeover connecting. They don't have a cleanse. Devour from Peter is good, but it might not matter. Cuz continuing to move in. BDD waiting over the wall. The ulti is there, but they don't need to face him yet. The turn on to Faker isn't enough. 3K. Cuz in the pit. At the end of the day, it does not matter because it is Doran to get the soul. KT might be able to get the fight, but there's too many members of T1 standing. Ocean Soul to T1 as everybody on KT fall. Owner and T1 have secured every single objective this game. Cuz moving in, but zoned away by the storm from the side of the team. Berserk now onto Cuz, has to ulti. Owner using an ulti of his own just to try and disengage. Dorn, meanwhile, in the mid lane, happy to just continue fighting. Perfect going into the back line, looking to get taken down by Faker. He's in the death realm, but Faker's happy with the 1v1. Just in BDD, that crucial piece of CC and exhaust there. But Faker just waiting in the darkness. Guma stacking up the spears, the wall to zone KT away. Flash not there for Cuz either. BDD off on the side is going to use the ultimate. W in from Peter does absolutely nothing. T1, they see a vulnerable opponent. They know what they can do as they start to rip them to shreds. KT is not going to take a bear, and T1 reminding us why they are here.
Guma is 2 levels up on the top laner.
Cuz caught out, isolated, immediate subjugate to try and stay standing, forced to flash back. BDD in the darkness! 3-man! But it's Dorn to try to turn it right back! The ulti is decent, Carrier wants to turn it back with the hostile takeover. The gold deficit is just too massive. Even a miracle, even an incredible angle was not enough in the face of this T1 lineup! The triple, the quadra!
여기 가죠. 미드도 바로 붙여줘.
내가 돌게.
캐틀었다. 저는 가죠.
바로 다 뒤에 왔어.
옆에 떼고.
슬로우 하면 되는데. 야, 좀만 줘.
다시 높여. 괜찮아. 나 괜찮아.
나 좀 안 좋아.
하지 마.
나 더블만.
날 때리겨. 더블 이겼어. 날 때리겨. 안에 이겨.
좋아.
밖에 이겼어. 끝났어.
와, 나이스.
하시오. 좋다.
플레이 봐라.
도준이 형. 나이스.
아빠 화이팅입니다.
5세트네.
이길 수 있어.
T1 bringing us to silver scrapes!
Guma lives the engage, and T1's hopes live in the...
That's a classic.
Perfect needs to back up, level 3. Getting lower and lower. Last Right's offering a bit of healing. The tactical sweep there from Doran to slow him down. Owner all but certain to make this one come through. First blood for T1.
To put threat behind when I move up in lane and try and taunt you. And now you don't have that pressure at all.
Q forward, sidestep, the taunt, Faker turning it back, BDD one more auto, the 1-for-1!
And ganking again.
Perfect needs to get out. Has the flash available, but Dorn just going to immediately flash follow. The adaptive defensive, the hook shot still there. The Q back for a bit of healing. Highlighted it so well. It's one of the few things that we haven't seen from him yet this tournament is now the hookshot wall dive is there. Docdom flashing away, but Owner's on the way as well. Ulti there, that's the Hextech ultimatum. Docdom likely to escape, but it looks like Peter will be sacrificed in return. The hookshot, making it out, send it play back to the tower, but it might cost Carrier his life. It's the 1-for-1, no! The minions leaking out! Carrier walks away!
And the Camille Galio
Faker.
Leona combo is
moving down, that's the combo, locks him in the ultimatum, finds the damage, the taunt is there, and Doran, the maiden summoned. Doran though, he's got backup, Owner on the way in, locked once again in the ultimate of Doran, but Perfect living for an extra second, the Q2 coming through just... T1 might just be a little bit late here, Cuz desperately needs to smite. Doesn't quite connect. Crucially, Dr. able to get out for a brief moment. BDD now trying to turn and fire back, but Faker is on the way. Ulti going in. Doran is down. BDD still standing. The exhaust managing to take him a little bit lower, but Gumayushi sits on the back line completely untouched. BDD finally able to start opening up. His owner gets one back in return. Perfect is here to keep his mid laner alive. And there you go. KT find an angle.
T1, but it doesn't look like they want to take the gamble.
Perfect also about to be taunted up. Has to be careful. They have so much damage here. Doran, of course, just reset the tower aggro, but he is locked down for a damn long time. Doran, untouchable for a brief moment, but they managed to kill him. T1 fumble the play in the mid lane, and perfect. T1 pushing them back. It'll take a miracle for them to get this one out. Owner, Peter coming in for the lockup, but Owner manages to get the objective. The fight coming out. Fire rained over the wall by Gumayushi, and down goes Peter. BDD finally arrived. That's the ulti coming in the meantime. He needs a little bit more space. Doctom, BDD untouched, but the front line has fallen. BDD, CC'd, knocked into the sky, and right back into the grave. T1, get Otacon, and ace KT. Great, Faker brings it back. Wants to turn with the taunt. Initial lockup from Keria is good. Doctom laying down a bit of poke, and he's going to be able to satchel out, but an immediate flash follow coming in from Owner. T1 don't even need the objective. They're happy to keep pushing for a bit more. On the top side of the fight, they've isolated BDD. He's continuing to fight. He wants to turn it back. He gets the kill on Doran. Crucially, Faker falls. KT holds. 3 seconds on Doran. Gumayushi, the other player to keep your eye on as well. The ulti can do a lot of work. Doran going in, doesn't connect. Hookshot wall dive, immediately CC'd. Exhaust coming in as well. Combo over the top from Guma. Finds two. Exhaust as Keria moves his way to the backline. Faker rains down from the sky. Locks up BDD and obliterates the hope for KT Rolster.
It's tough to hold on.
Doran looking to get things kicked off. Hookshot wall dive brings him over. He's taking the tower already. Flashback to get away from Cuz's ultimate. And the ulti manages to connect from Doctom. A big fumble. Immediately they're going to kick things off by going in on Cuz. Taking away the Frost Armor passive. Lockdown from Keria is there. TP in from Doran as well. Ulti's going across the board. BDD caught off the side. A good flash to take him out, and Guma has to be careful, but he's so damn fast. Owner, lock up BDD. He goes gold in an extra 2.5 seconds to consider what went wrong as T1 looks set to end it all.
They're gonna finish the job. It is Doran and Peter left alone in the mid lane. And T1.
싸움 크게 난다. 나오고. 아래에서 쏘나.
나 세주 전 패스 일단.
세주 막을게 한번.
살짝 봐갖고.
아 괜찮고 나 괜찮고.
세주 개피.
세주.
스머도 못 꼈는데 스머도 못 꼈는데 스머도
야 스머저
노플.
가는 중 스머저 가는 중.
천천히 해봐.
나
천천히.
스머저 갈 수 있어.
높이라.
맞아. 야 이거 좋아. 야 스머저 잡았어?
스머도 잡아봐. 직스 잡아.
야 이겼다.
탑.
없이 줘.
얘들아.
노틸 잡고 갈게.
오케이 잡으면 끝나지요.
형 잡아도 돼 안 잡아도
가자. 제발.
어떻게 달라고? 괜찮아 현준이 형.
형 진짜.
와 진짜.
아, 내 란도 밑에 좀.
이기기 싫어가지고.
근데 왜 아니
현준이 형.
처음이다.
우선 축하해.
아, 내 귀엽긴 했어.
아 축하한다 얘들아.
축하해.
접니다.
고생했어. 나이스. 나이스다. 다 잘했다. 다 잘했습니다.
다행이다.
끝내줘 제발.
Place them.
T1 earning their legacy again and again and again. There can be no doubting it. 4 players on the Rift today making the impossible possible. Owner, Faker, Gumayushi, Keria,